Hey there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittney Bundles, and today's video is going to be just some recommendations on how to better position your sales for virgin hair. Lately I was working with someone, and she was explaining to me, well, before I even get into it, if you are interested in these type of videos, be sure to give the video a big thumbs up. Please make sure that you are subscribed, and let's get right into it. So like I mentioned, I was working with someone, and she was explaining to me how she does hair, and how typically one pack of hair from the beauty supply store, because she said like the packs have different bundles within the pack, and I think I've seen those too when I've gone into the beauty supply store. It's like the pack with, like, you know, maybe 4 or 5 different bundles in the specific pack, and they have different lengths and colors sometimes depending on the brand that you go with. But nevertheless, she said $100 typically does her client's full head, and she asked how many packs would she need to do her client's head with the virgin hair that I'm selling. Now, there's not a one answer fits all, because it all depends. It depends on a few different variables. It depends on, number one, what style you're doing, okay, and how thick or what type of density the customer is wanting for their style, because not everyone wants the same type of volume or thickness with their style. Like not everyone does. Also, you want to figure out, are they having leave out or not? Are you doing a closure or a frontal? Because if you're doing a closure on a front or a frontal, and please ignore that noise, that's my car seat base rattling in the back. I have to tighten it up. And I'm on my way to Starbucks right now. Just dropped my kids off at school. But anyways, let me continue to stay on topic. But not everyone wants the same thing. Not only that, but you know, if you're getting a closure or a frontal, or if you're doing leave out, you may need more hair or less hair than if you were doing a full sew-in with only your bundles. Another thing that factors into how many bundles you may need is the length, because the longer the bundles, typically the shorter the weft. So, you know, you have to kind of factor that in as well. So, and then also you want to look at the texture, because if you're doing completely like a straight style, and your client is wanting thicker, like a thicker style, more volume, then you may need more bundles of straight than you would of like kinky curly, for an example. So those are some things to consider. But she was mentioning, when I told her that typically, you know, you're gonna need more than one pack, but it does vary based on the style that you're using or the style that you're doing. Because some people, they have their natural hair down, and they literally add a pack of hair to their natural hair, and it looks natural, flows, and that's their style. So it all depends, like I've been saying pretty much the entire video. She was mentioning how something in regards to like the price difference of buying like 3 to 4 bundles of virgin hair versus paying $100 for the beauty supply store hair. And I was explaining to her that I typically don't sell on price. Even when I was selling different like items, when I wasn't selling hair, like when I was just working for different sales companies, I rarely will sell on the price. I just won't do it, because there's not any value really in the price. The value is really in the product and the service. People tend to pay for what they want. You'll see a lot of people that they can't necessarily afford, based on, you know, if you would have had a financial advisor look over their finances, or, you know, even sometimes they'll just flat out tell you, I couldn't afford this, but they'll still go ahead and get what it is they want. There's a lot of people that walk around with luxury items that literally can't afford them, but they do it because they want the items. There's a lot of people that have gotten their car repossessed with their nails done and their hair done. So not everyone, and again, I don't agree with that lifestyle. I talk a lot on this channel about making sure that you're being financially stable and responsible. But nevertheless, people, you know, will pay for what they want. And then it's also a great idea to have options for your business. So if someone can't pay, or if they don't want to be irresponsible, they still have options where they can get what it is they want on a payment plan that fits their budget. So I explained that, when you're purchasing virgin hair, it's more of an investment. It's not like, okay, I'm just hurrying up and getting a style, and that's that. And then once I'm done with this hair, I'm going to throw it away. Do some people throw their hair away after they use it? Yes. Do some people, get their hair done in virgin hair just for an event and that's the end of it? Yes. But you have the option of reusing virgin hair for over 12 months. So if you look at it that way, that it's an investment, it's quality hair, the difference between how the hair looks, even if you take some good virgin hair and you compare it to the hair at the beauty supply store for $100, more than likely you're going to notice a difference. You're going to notice a difference in how the hair looks, the luster, the cuticles. You're probably going to notice a difference in the weft. You're just, probably going to notice a difference in the ends, the curl pattern. There's a lot of differences. There's just a lot of differences that you may find yourself recognizing. Am I making this video to down beauty supply store hair? No, not at all. I think it all depends on what your client is wanting, what they're interested in. It's not just like you have to get this hair or you're not in the cool club. I mean, whatever it is you want. But, a lot of people talk about the pricing. So if you want to sell on the price, because, a lot of times being a good entrepreneur, being a good salesman, a saleswoman, and I hate to use that term, but, if you're selling anything, one way to make sure that you're being good at what you're doing is to always have a way to overcome objections. So if the objections or one of the objections are going to be in regards to the price, then you want to already have like what you're going to say in your mind for your customers and clients. So with this scenario, she was explaining that her clients pay $100 per pack. Okay, so let's say that they switched over to virgin hair. Now they're paying $300 per pack, right? Or not per pack, $300 for 3 bundles. Let's say that. So yeah, initially they're investing more up front, but they're able to use that set of hair for up to 12 months. So that means for 12 months, they've come out of pocket, if they decide to use the same hair, $300 for the hair. That's that. Let's say that they get their hair done 4 times a year. Again, all they're paying after the first initial purchase of the hair is for the style. Okay, let's say that they did the pack, I'm going to say pack hair, but let's say they did the beauty supply store hair, right, where they're paying $100 for a pack. If they got their hair done 4 times in a year, they would have already paid more than the $300 that they would have paid if they would have invested up front for virgin hair. So a lot of times people look at what they're paying for today and they don't really look at the overall savings and investment. And that's why it's very important to stress how virgin hair is an investment. You want to make sure that you're advocating for what you're selling and you're showcasing and painting a picture to your customers and clients as to what they're getting if they purchase this product. It's the same as I can use even getting my nails done for an example. I can go to someone and get my nails done for $45 and, that be that. But let's say that they're not licensed, that they don't really clean their utensils. They don't really do a great job. Every time I get my nails done, they always break every few days. After a few days of me getting my nails done. Or I can go and I can invest and pay, I'm just throwing out numbers here, $85 for a new set. Go to a salon. I know that it's clean. I know that the utensils have been, clean like they should, sanitized. And I know that my nails are going to last 2 to 3 weeks versus a few days. So yeah, I may have paid less with the first option, but I'm getting more for my money and it's a better investment with the second option, if that makes sense. So when you're selling anything, you want to make sure that you're asking questions, particularly open-ended questions where your customer or client can't give you just a simple yes or no, because you want to fully understand what it is their concern is. This situation, the concern was, okay, well, if I'm offering virgin hair or if I'm selling virgin hair, how am I going to convert certain clients that are used to paying $100 to now pay $300? Because not every client is going to be concerned about the price. Some clients are truly concerned about the quality. How long will this last? What are the differences? Some people really don't know the difference in hair, and that's our job to educate them. Some people's issue may be that they always go into the beauty supply store and get this hair that that's already dyed red. And they may look on the website and say, okay, well, the virgin websites that I've gone to, I didn't see any red hair. And they may not know that they can bleach and dye the hair. So that's, again, our responsibility to let them know, hey, you can still get this color. You don't necessarily have to get this specific brand of hair for this color. So you want to make sure that you're asking those questions so that you can figure out what their specific concern is, so that you can overcome that concern, that objection. Like I said, I really don't lead with price. If you just like decide to go out for a day, not even necessarily spending money, but just go to different, like, I don't know, go to like the mall, go to different stores, jewelry stores, if you're looking for bags, like go into stores that have like higher end products. And I'm pretty sure if they're a good sales agent, they're not going to mention, okay, well, if you get this, it's going to be X amount of dollars. Are you sure you want it because it's X amount of dollars? Typically, they're not going to talk about the price. They're going to talk about what you're getting for that price. They're going to talk about the value. They're going to talk about the benefit. They're going to talk about the quality. Those are some things they're going to talk about. When you're selling hair, it should be no different. Like, that's how it should be. Now, on my podcast recently, I talked about some of the things that I learned in entrepreneurship. And one of the things that I can say that I've learned is to not bash other companies and brands. And there's definitely a way that you can do so without, there's definitely a way that you can be honest without downing another company, because that's not a good look. It's just not professional. If you want to hear more about some of the things that I've learned and why I say it's not professional and why I don't recommend you downing another company for any reason, be sure to check out my recent podcast. It's available on Anchor, as well as I upload episodes to YouTube. So I believe it's titled like The Lessons I've Learned Through Entrepreneurship, something along those lines. Be sure to check out that video. It probably is the video. No, I have another video coming out before this. I was going to say it's probably the video right before this one, but it's not going to be. So, keep that in mind. But like I said, you can always be honest. I'm not bashing beauty supply store hair. I don't have anything against beauty supply store hair at all. It's just a preference. And, you want to, like I said before, paint a picture as to what they're getting in comparison. Just like, there's nothing necessarily wrong with McDonald's coffee, but I know that McDonald's coffee is different than Starbucks. Will I still drink McDonald's coffee? Occasionally, possibly, but they're different. So if I wasn't a coffee drinker, or if I didn't know, and someone else was trying to sell me on Starbucks and all I knew was McDonald's, they would have to compare and contrast. So this is what you're getting. This is why you're paying more than $1.99 for coffee at Starbucks. So, you have to kind of paint the picture like I've been saying and break it down. So I really hope that helped. There's multiple ways. There's not like a one-way fits all to sell hair or to sell anything. But if you get wrapped up in the price only of anything that you're selling, more than likely it's going to be a very, very hard task for you to try to overcome that objection and sell. Because there's always, this is something to consider too, there's always going to be somebody or some product that's cheaper than what you're offering. Even if your goal is to be the cheapest, which I wouldn't even recommend that be your goal. I used to work for a phone company, and they right off the bat would say, we're not the cheapest, and we don't apologize for that, but this is what we do offer. And I started to see later on, okay, I'm going to pay more for this phone company because I get better coverage here. It's not just about how much I'm saving, but it's about the value that I'm getting. Because if I'm paying for a phone service, whether it's $50 cheaper or not, and I can't use it all the time, and I only can use it in specific areas, that's not going to work for me. I need to be able to use my phone whenever I need to use it. And so I'll pay the extra $50 for the better coverage. Same with hotspot. I'm an entrepreneur, so I work a lot of times away from my Wi-Fi. And if I don't have a way to connect to the internet with my laptop or my tablet, and I don't have my hotspot on, that's not going to work for me. I'm missing out on opportunities. I'm missing out on money. So I'd rather pay the extra $50 so that I'm not losing hundreds or possibly thousands of dollars by not being able to connect to the internet to do certain work. So it all depends on what's important to me. Those are some things that's important to me. Other people may find that it's important to them to be able to upgrade every time a new phone comes out. And so you have to just figure out what's important to that person, like I've been stating. But if you get wrapped up in the pricing, like I said, there's always going to be somebody that's cheaper and more expensive. And if you don't want to constantly have to apologize for your pricing and constantly say, well, yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, I know that my pricing is this price. You want to look at other aspects of how you can position the sale versus not just going on the price. Because I know people that have purchased hair, even online, and their hair has been considerably cheap, and they were not happy with the purchase. Like, they feel like they wasted their money. So it's not just about the price. And sometimes when people are talking about the price, it's still not just about the price. Have you ever heard someone or seen someone in public at a store or anything like that where they've purchased something on sale and it was not what they thought? Like, they were like, this was too small, this didn't do this. Or sometimes people purchase like TVs because they were on sale or discounted, and then they realized that, well, this TV wasn't even a smart TV. I don't want this TV. I thought it was. So a lot of times, like I said, it's not about the price. You have to figure out exactly what your specific customer is looking for and be able to solve that issue, resolve that need or that want. So again, I'm not going to keep you all too long. I think you get the picture. If you have any additional questions, need advice on anything in regards to, the hair business, hair industry, or business in general, be sure to leave your comments down below, or send me an email or hit me up on my social media platforms. All that information is below. I do want to thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.